A while back, I was browsing Reddit like I normally do and just so happened to stumble upon this gem of a meme. If you play support characters, you know exactly what this feels like. Now, while I'm not locked into a specific class or a champion, I more often than not happen to play support just to balance the teams. This naturally got me thinking. Maldumba is a relatively old champion, with Genos being the latest one. Now, the main question that's racing in my mind now is, are support champions really getting easier to play? Well, this may seem like a simple yes or no question. There's actually a lot more to this topic now that I am recording and thinking about it. So let's start by naming the champions in alphabetical order. It goes Grok, Grover, Genos, Maldumba, Ceres, and Ying. Now, if you order them in the order of release, this would be it. Grok and Pip, released at the same time at the launch of closed beta. Grover, Ying, Maldumba, Ceres, and finally, Genos. Best way to tackle this question would be to go through the individual kits of the champion and see what they bring to the game. So let's start with Grok. Grok is a stationary heal over time champion. He can't heal his team if they're away from him, but if they are grouped up, he can heal them all without anyone getting extra heal. Unless of course they have Rejuvenate. He has a hit scan weapon, a get out of jail free card as movement ability, and the ability to slow enemy champions down that can combo off, and finally a dual functioning ult. It heals and damages when you move. Next we have Pip. Now Pip was the first champion in the game to ever have curved projectiles as a part of his kit. So whether you're hitting with normal attack, explosive flask, or even his heal, they travel in an arc. Now the arc is nowhere near severe as it was initially in the closed beta, but they are still technically curved. His movement ability makes you jump faster and move a bit faster, and his ult is a strong crowd control. You can do it solo, but it's always better to do it with the help of your teammates. Now Grover is a bit tricky. Grover was initially released, he was a melee champion, and melee champions are generally harder to play than ranged characters. But we shall use his new abilities. For his heal to be effective, you need to be up close and personal with your teammates. It doesn't help if you are a huge tree, which means you're a very easy target to hit. His auto attack is hard to hit from medium to long distance range, but when you hit them, you hit like a truck. His ult is basically a heal over time burst, but again, you need to be close to your teammates. Ying on paper should be very easy, but she is anything but easy. With an emphasis on cooldown management and illusion placement, she's one of the more technically demanding support champions to play. Mess up an illusion placement and you can get 3 people killed. Place down illusion well and you can easily counter a lot of ultimates, and I do mean a lot. Maldumba. Isn't he just a treat to play? His heals are heal over time, but you can heal people whether they are away or close. You can also heal in an AoE, a movement ability that can basically dodge most ultimates if timed right. His ultimates is a very big disruption tool, and of course the danger noodle toss. Then we have Ceres. Dedicated singular heal over time, an invisible and untargetable escape, a self-heal / damage depending on how many auto attacks you get off, and finally a big black hole type ultimate. Finally, the last champion to think about is Genos. His heals are instant heal over time depending on the legendary you get. He has a fast traveling ability with no cooldown, he has a freaking assault rifle and a very reliable hold for your team to wombo combo from. His ultimate is different and requires a bit of forward planning. Well, now that you see it this way, you can see a trend clearly. The champions at a base level for champions are getting easier. It seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, just look at the last two. One can heal over time without even being near consistent for 4 seconds and only 3 second cooldown. The other can heal through a wall without having any vision on them at all. But that's not the only thing though, is it? There are always more to a support champion than just the healing factor. The thing is, there is general feel and fluidity to the kit. For some champions it's a large area presence, which would be someone like Ying. For some it's keeping the most amount of people alive at the same time, so this would be Maldumba. And then again we look at the newer one. They have short cooldown in which they heal one person at a time. They both have a solid movement ability, Genos more so for practical reasons. And the main difference is that Ceres is a combo maker, while Genos is a combo contributor. Everything that I said until now seems to be pointing in the direction of, yes, support champions are getting indeed easier. But then we have to ask ourselves, how would we make sure the support champions get harder? Here, let me introduce you another idea. Niche champions are getting easier. The basic trend is now this. As the champion roster of the game increases, you don't need to add traditional mechanics so much. You've got them out before. Now you can focus on champions that are really good at one thing and one thing alone. What this means is that you can get more and more niche champions into the game. If we are to compare, let's say, Maldumba and Genos, you can really see that Genos is meant to be in the backlines. But so is Maldumba, but Genos really excels at staying away from the fights. So much so he doesn't even need to be in the same place as the team. Maldumba, on the other hand, can function much better in teamfight and in the direct vicinity of his team. Ying and Ceres are also different, but Ying has a lot more functionality than Ceres as well. Ying is a pure team healer. Ceres, on the other hand, is a support that can sustain one champion for a long time and helps the team with wombo combo and, just outright zoning. Then there's also the fact that even if the champions are getting easier, it doesn't make them more desirable to play. This also means that the easy champions bring a lot less to a table than harder champions. This is especially true in the professional scene and it's visual as well. Maldumba is often prioritized a lot more than Genos just because Maldumba brings a lot more functionality Genos ever can. Stun, AoE heal, dedicated heal, point disruption ability, and a pretty neat movement ability. Genos can really shoot, heal, and hold people in a hold, which means that he can do nothing else while his hold is taking place. His ult is great, but more often than not, most people do not land that a lot. Finally, if you're a support player, then you're already used to the normal support champions. So when a new champion comes out that uses the previous mechanic, you're bound to find them easy. Even if you're not a support champion and you've played the game for a long time, your mechanical skills still kick in, making the new champions a lot easier. Ask a new player to play Genos and Pip. Chances are they're going to find both equally hard to play for different reasons. They might like Genos a bit more because he has a traditional shooting gun. So does this mean we will no longer get any hard support champions in the future? Well, of course not. If we look into the other champion classes, we can recently see that some pretty hard champions will come out. Talus is pretty hard. If you can't time his abilities well, a lot of people don't do interesting things with this Rune of Travel. In the damage department we have Strix, who is arguably the hardest champion in the game to play. When I'm in a try-hard mood, I normally pick Maldumba, but that's rare. More often than not, I just pick Ceres as he's relatively easy to play and like I said before, you don't need to try as hard. But there's also the fact that her ultimate is my favourite ultimate in the whole game. I mean, in other games, I've always loved the wombo combo abilities. It automatically makes you the playmaker of the game and gives you control of the situation. In Dota there's Enigma, which even today gets people hyped if you land a black hole correctly.
DK comes out, stun on Puppy, and the roar as well. Aeon are gonna hit, but here comes line up, black hole! LGD! 2 down!
In Overwatch we have Zarya, who happens to be my favorite Overwatch champion as well. If you hit that ult just right, you can win the whole match in the most spectacular fashion. If you mess it up, you can lose your team or even the game. It's really exhilarating. Well, I mean, it could be just that, or it's just that new Ceres skin is quite provocative, and it gives you a really hard time thinking about the ever elusive and mysterious black hole.
Oh, from behind?
Now, this is a giveaway video, which I haven't mentioned in the beginning of the video, just the end. It's a way of saying thank you for sticking till the end. To find the link to the giveaway, open the description, scroll straight to the bottom, and there you'll find a Gleam link. Up for grabs will be the very, very distracting Infernal Ceres skin. There are 2 up for grabs. All the best, and the winners will be announced 2 weeks on Twitter, so be sure to follow me there if you don't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.